Says here that they expect record high temperatures in the North Pole this year.
DSW has a sale on all accessories this week.
Kathy, aren't you concerned about global warming?
Of course I am. But this sale isn't going to last forever.
If the planet burns up, what will it matter?
Ooh, Morgana has a sale on ladies' blouses and skirts.
Kathy, are you listening to me?
Yeah, George, global warming, death and destruction, no more late night TV.
Forget late night TV. We have more pressing matters than that.
Like what, George?
Like, where is Santa gonna live after the North Pole melts?
He can live here as long as he delivers my blouse, skirt, and shoes before Christmas.
He better have one hell of a fast set of water skis.
Whatever may come our way, we'll deal with it day to day. We hope you'll be there while we're living in our timeshare.
Did you see this morning's paper about the North Pole?
You mean it's still here?
Maybe not for long.
How's that?
They're expecting record temps this year. That can't be good. All the ice caps melting? We'll drown.
You actually believe all this global warming nonsense? Don't you know that's just a left-wing scare tactic?
Normally I agree with you, but have you noticed how warm it's been?
Roy, it's always warm from time to time. I remember back in 1971, in February it was 66 degrees. There's nothing new here.
Just the same, it's good to be prepared.
Like we can do anything about it?
We could do our part.
Like what?
Well, for starters, not drive around so much. Maybe get an electric car.
You realize that stuff making electricity is also killing the planet.
One problem at a time, Phyllis. One problem at a time. Where the hell were you two? Kathy insisted on going shopping.
There was a sale, and I didn't want to miss it. That's my girl.
I told her we've got more pressing problems. Like what? Like this global warming thing. Oh, you read that too?
It's all he's been talking about all day. See what you did to that boy? You corrupted him.
While your daughter's out shopping.
Of course, she knows her priorities.
And what's that?
Never let a sale pass you by. Which reminds me, I need another red dress.
You're gonna look like Santa soon with all that red. Speaking of Santa, he's not gonna have a place to live soon. He can live here.
That's what George said. Where are we gonna put him?
We'll give him your room.
And where am I gonna sleep?
Where do you think? She can have my room.
And where are you gonna sleep? He can sleep with me. Over my dead body. But Ma, we're married. I just don't want to hear all the moaning and sighing. But nothing's gonna happen. Thus all the moaning and sighing. Besides, George and I are gonna wait before we have children.
I'm not sure I want to bring a kid into this world. It's a mess.
None of that talk. You're gonna make me a grandma and that's all there is to it.
Phyllis, make up your mind. You want him to do it or not?
I'm conflicted. And I'm hungry.
Come on, Kathy. I'll find you something to eat.
You just better make sure it's food.
Phyllis?
I told you, conflicted. Come on, George. I wonder if they're even doing anything.
Knowing George, what do you think?
I think I'm never going to be a grandma.
Hey, Iggy, how would you like to go with me to the auto dealer?
Sounds good to me. Where are you two off to?
We're heading to the auto dealer.
Auto dealer?
I want to look at some electric cars.
You? Electric cars?
Yeah, this global warming thing has me a little freaked.
You referring to that article in the paper today?
You read it?
I read it. I didn't think you believed in that stuff.
Let's just say I'm a little concerned.
So you're gonna buy an electric car?
I'm considering it.
Phyllis is gonna love that.
Believe me, she's got other things in her mind right now.
Like what?
She's worried about Kathy and George. She can't decide whether she wants them to do it or not.
Do what?
You know, it.
Oh, you mean the big it.
Yeah, that it.
You're not even sure he's capable since the accident.
No, I'm not. And I can't tell if Phyllis is upset or relieved.
She seems,
Conflicted, she calls it.
that sounds about right.
And when George started talking about giving up his room to Santa after the North Pole melted, Phyllis was torn between terror at the two of them sleeping together and frustration at never being a grandma.
Conflicted.
Anyway, come on, Iggy.
Where are we going?
To the auto dealer.
Oh yeah, right. I'm right behind you. Or am I in front of you?
Just open the door, Iggy. Take it easy. And that Iggy is one of a kind.
Was that Roy who just left? He and Iggy went to look at electric cars. Wonderful. This global warming thing's got everybody in a tizzy. It's something to be concerned about. Whatever. Can I offer you a piece of advice? On what? Your daughter. Oh, I don't want to hear this. Well, you're gonna listen. Do I have a choice? No, you don't. Fine, get it over with. Kathy's not a little girl anymore. She's a woman, and she's married. And she wants to be with her husband. So nobody's stopping her. Seems to me that you are. What can I tell you? I'm conflicted. So Roy tells me. I just can't imagine my little girl having, well... Sex? Yeah, sex. God be willing, if George is even capable, and there's a good chance that he's not, she is going to have sex, and you are going to be a grandma. Kathy, right? That's right. Does your mother know you dress like that? She does. And she doesn't have a problem with it? If she does, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that George likes the way I dress. George is your boyfriend? George is my husband. You're married? We got married over the summer. So where is he now? He went out to look for some environmentally friendly products. How's that? He's on a global warming kick. He He's worried about what's going to happen to Santa after the North Pole disappears.
How old is George? 10?
He's had an accident. It's left him a little slow.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. I still love him.
And where were you? I was out doing the food shopping. Hopefully for tonight's dinner you'll make something edible. Very funny. So were you two having a nice talk? She was telling me about her husband. Oh, George. Yes, he's a special case.
Of course, Ma's still trying to keep us from sleeping together.
You mean you and your husband still haven't consummated your marriage?
No, not yet.
So you're still a virgin? That would make you so happy, wouldn't it?
Well, actually...
Actually what? Kathy, you are still a virgin, right?
No, I'm not. I've been with other men before I met George.
Does George know?
No, he doesn't. And I want to keep it that way.
You'll never believe what I found out today. You know, this global warming article is really scary. You too? Aren't you concerned? I'm more concerned about Kathy and George. What about them? Did you know they still haven't consummated their marriage? That's the worst kept secret since Jane Fonda's facelift. Well, guess what else I found out? Jane Fonda had a tummy tuck too? Kathy is not a virgin. Wait, I thought you said they haven't consummated their marriage. They haven't. You mean Kathy's been with other guys? Apparently. Does George know? Apparently not. Oh boy. Well, this is a disaster in the making. She really needs to tell him the truth, but she says he's never going to know. You sure this isn't a Young and Restless plot? Young and who? The Young and the Restless. What's that? You never watched The Young and the Restless? Obviously not. Oh, what a great show. Phyllis should get an Emmy. Phyllis is on The Young and the Restless? No, not Phyllis. Phyllis. What's the difference? Phyllis is much better looking. Which Phyllis are we talking about? The one on The Young and the Restless. And that's not our Phyllis? No, that's their Phyllis. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. Have we? I'll go check with Phyllis. Oh, I don't think they'll let you talk to her. Which Phyllis are you referring to? The one they won't let you talk to. Oh, bloody hell, I'm all confused. So is Phyllis. Actually, she's conflicted. You realize that Kathy should tell George the truth. So what do you want me to do about it? Somebody has to talk to her. Well, don't look at me. It should be somebody older. That's everybody in this house. No, I mean really old. Who do you have in mind? My mum. You're gonna have your mother talk to Kathy about her non-existent virginity? Actually, it's a brilliant idea if I have to say so myself. How so? It just might be the thing to make my mum realize she's being too hard on us. You little devil, you. I can be a scheming little wench when I want to be. Why, Stephanie Bloodworth. I have a feeling our first time is going to be absolutely amazing. But no pressure. Of course not. We wouldn't want you to suffer from ED.
warming. That's a bunch of horse hawking. I got some buns that need to be warmed. Well, that was an experience.
It sure was.
Where did you two go off to?
We went to an auto dealer to look at electric cars.
You wouldn't catch me dead in one of those things.
Actually, dead is what you'll probably end up as. The one we were looking at burst into flames from a stray electrical spark.
It was like watching an episode of Starsky and Hutch. Or was it Kojak? It was one of those cop shows where things blow up.
That could have been just about any of them.
Was anybody hurt?
No, they put out the fire before he went up in smoke.
I think my hair got a little singed.
Come on, let's go rinse you off under the sink.
Well, that's certainly a pair. And where were you? I forgot something at the store. I hope it wasn't my stew. Are you talking to my boyfriend? Why? Does he like stew too? He does when he can't get sex, which is all the time now. Are you going to keep singing that same old tired, worn-out song? No, actually I want to talk to you about Kathy. Oh, you mean the girl who dresses like a slut with a husband who can't get it up? Yes, her. Well, what about her? I want you to talk to her about telling George that she's not a virgin. Why me? Because you're older and wiser. And you're too chicken to do it. That's besides the point. Why do I always have to do your dirty work? Because you enjoy it so much. And what am I supposed to say to her? Tell her what you would tell me. To keep her legs closed at all times? Aside from that. Then what? That she has to tell George the truth for the sake of their marriage. Oh, their marriage will be fine. Have you seen the legs on that girl? Unfortunately, George doesn't care about those things. So what's up with that? He's slow, and we're not even sure that he has any sexual desire anymore since the accident. That can be a problem. So they don't need this lie to compound the problem. You really care about them, don't you? They're two of the sweetest kids I've ever known. They are adorable together. Why, Mum, is there actually a soft spot in that cold, hard heart of yours? You make me sound like a monster. Sometimes you act like one. Why? Because I want you to act like a lady and not a common hoe? Just because I want to sleep with Steve Rogers doesn't make me a hoe. It doesn't make you a Catholic schoolgirl either. Please, have you seen some of them? I think I did this morning. If that skirt was any shorter, it would have been over her head. Will you please just talk to Kathy? Fine, I'll talk to Kathy. Just don't expect any miracles. Go on. Go on. Yes, go on. Do I have to? Mom. She looks so engrossed in her book. She's read it 5 times. Then it must be really good. Mom. Oh, all right. I'll be watching you. To think we fought the Germans to get away from all this. Excuse me, Kathy.
Yes?
Do you have a few minutes to talk?
What do you want to talk about?
Go on. I want to talk about you and George.
What about me and George?
You two are very cute together.
Mom!
Well, you always have to have the B movie before the main feature.
Well, get out the popcorn and get on with it.
Oh, do we have popcorn?
No, we don't.
Well, I can go out and get some.
I won't tell you again.
Oh, all right. I knew I should have sewn your mouth shut when I had the chance. Kathy, I understand that you've been with other men before you met George.
That's right.
Except he doesn't know that, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Don't you think he has a right to know?
I'm afraid if I tell him, it'll hurt his feelings.
Trust me, hurt feelings are better than being lied to. Maybe my ex-husband and I would still be married if we had remembered that.
So you think I should tell George?
Yes, and sooner rather than later.
I'm scared.
I know, the truth can be really scary sometimes. But as someone famous once said, the truth shall set you free.
Oh, bloody hell, it was Jesus!
I knew it was somebody famous. Kathy, you're not doing your marriage any favors by keeping this from your husband.
I suppose.
Well, I've said my piece. The rest is up to you. Well, I hope you're satisfied.
You did good, Mom.
I want my stew for dinner.
It's tough going without sex, isn't it?
You always wear a smart mouth.
And you always were a pain in my ass. Stephanie?
Yes, Kathy?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, George. It's time for me to face the music.
So what did you want to talk about?
George, there's something I have to tell you. It was something I should have told you a long time ago, but I was afraid to.
Kathy, you know you can tell me anything.
I know, and I should have realized that.
So what is it?
George, I'm not a virgin. I've been with other guys before I met you.
Well, I know that.
You do?
Sure. A girl as pretty as you must have had lots of boyfriends. I just assumed it was a given.
So you're not mad?
Why should I be mad? Then was then and now is now. And now you're married to me, and that's all that matters.
George, what did I do to deserve such a great guy?
I guess you're just lucky.
I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
I guess it's time for me to make a confession too. Kathy, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. Well, you know.
I know, George. If we can't, we can't. I still love you no matter what.
I'd still like to try.
You would?
Sure. I've never done anything like that before. And with your mom yelling at me all the time, I was too scared to even try.
Well, we're married now, so we can try any time you like.
Tonight? Are you sure?
As sure as I am that poor Santa's gonna need a new home someday.
Well, when he does, we'll be there to give him one.
Good, because I want to make sure you get all the presents you deserve.
I already have the best gift that anyone could give me.
What's that?
You.
Well, it's a good thing because there's only one of me.
Don't I know it? Come on, George. Let's go to bed.
Hi, Steve. I'm not Captain America Rogers here with another installment of Timeshare Tidbits. Somewhere in the mid-1800s, a Scotsman, most likely drunk in his ass, said, "Confession is good for the soul." After downing a fifth of Jack Daniels, he probably had a lot to confess. Anyway, this week, Kathy finally came clean with George, admitting that she wasn't a virgin when they got married. It's the only way George would have ever found out, since they've yet to consummate their marriage. Yeah, I know. I don't get it either. I mean, it's not like Kathy's hard to look at. Maybe it's the hard part that's the problem. But tonight, they're willing to give it a go. My money's on George. I mean, there's only so long you could resist a piece of cheesecake. Speaking of cheesecake, can somebody recommend a good bakery? The last one I got sprouted wings and flew off to Mexico. In the meantime, we all had a nice little chat about global warming. Just the topic we needed to really kill the mood, at least for those of us who aren't on the 4-year plan. But whatever happens with the planet, one thing is for sure. No way in hell is Santa sleeping in my bed. Roger's out.